Revenge stories have never been more drastic before, because today the game your dear Araknie is gonna talk about is Avenging Spirit, also a title for an arcade game that makes sense for once. Good job, Jaleco. The story is the right amount of messed up and I gotta spoil it because after all the appeal of the game is all in the variations of gameplay. You're traveling around enjoying the city sights with your girlfriend when you get attacked by a band of criminals that abduct her. Then they kill you. Holy shit, I'm dead! But since I haven't felt good about how things went, I'm now a ghost. So I gotta save my girl before leaving this world for good. But that's not a guaranteed, it's up to you. I did only the best ending, but entirely by myself. It's just that the game gives you visual and written clues that you'll understand what you do and when to do it. Those three key shape symbols are there for a reason after all. But yeah, if you manage, you get to free her, help her defeat the final boss, and then leave her body and finally die. That's incredible. Because that's the premise, by possessing others you control them and get their energy, and also their combat system, controls, speed and minimum health, the latter of which can be improved by finding earth capsules. So every enemy is a character you can inhabit. If you die you get to live as a ghost, but your life is timed. You need to get to another poor sod if you wanna keep going. The game is designed to be generous and to actually favor your skill. If you get good enough or are good at platformers with a multitude of characters, you might even not spend much money at all in this arcade. Surely that isn't too great for money making, but in 1991 most people going to arcades were good at shoot 'em ups anyway. I think they made their money back, seems to have enjoyed a long stay in many places after all, and for good reason. The system is truly amazing. Already when you start you can choose one between 4 different subjects, and then you test your might on the other 3 before being sent into stage 1. That's a fantastic way to make a really intuitive tutorial. And then we're off. And the levels. I love the levels. They encourage exploration and are made to be completely finished by every single character. Even if you're bringing a goober that doesn't spawn in the next board, they accounted for it, while making every level different but also intuitive. There's even a labyrinth one. You know that for me they have been mostly a pain in the ass, like for example in the Shinobi games. But here I just managed to get the gist of it, because they went above and beyond and made every room connect to a specific one. For example, if you move through this door, you'll always will spawn in this one, and going back will send you to the previous place, not a new one. And more than that, every room looks unique from the previous one. That's an enormous effort and I'm super happy that they did it this way. Especially since there's that key collection to do, having levels where you understand where you go and doors that make sense. This is a top tier arcade game and idea. Especially since all characters you get are different. There's even some recolors but have a new attack guaranteed, and also different speed and jump height. There's basically 20 to 30 enemies for you to experiment with and they are all perfectly viable to get to the end. That's quite amazing. On that note, I did only the good ending, so I don't know how the others work, but I got all I needed and opened the secret door in the last board. And then the game gave me a bit more level and a single phase final boss, and that was it. It was so easy that I was truly ready for the screen to go black and a stage 7 to appear, but no, I got the ending and credits instead. If the last encounter was made of 2 or 3 phases, I would have got it, but not kill the crime lord, and yep, that's it. Seems like Avenging Spirit can't wait to wrap things up as soon as you pass the 3 keys door. That deflated my hype and momentum is just all over too quickly. Technically I found it really pleasing and enjoyable. The graphics are nothing too impressive but really satisfying, and even with the amount of stuff going at all times I never lost track of any moving element. That's really great, especially when your character dies and you become a ghost. In those moments you have limited energy, so the ability to spot the next one to possess in a short time helped me immensely. I managed to just take it easy since there was a lack of timer too. I just used my skills with the most possible care and discernment, and that's how I did the first 2 levels deathless. That's how I understood real soon that this game is something special. Even the soundtrack gives me vibes of going for a walk. I will listen to this OST while outside to make the world around me more happy than what it is, that's for sure. Speedy but not too frantic, with only boss themes getting certainly more dramatic. Most melodies have a certain rhythm to them while going into these stages. You could consider it city pop now that I think about it. Makes sense in a game without a time limit. They want you to feel the hype, but they don't need to pressure you. You've already got enough to juggle by yourself after all. But yeah, it's a good soundtrack, one of those that when you listen to it outside the game you notice some neat nuanced parts that will surprise you. In conclusion, I will very happily give Avenging Spirit a 9 out of 10. It would have been one of my all-time favorites if not for the rushed ending. There's little to no satisfaction to the free the girl moment because you don't get to play as her for long enough to enjoy your power. There's not even a new challenge that makes use of the fact that you can lose this possession, unfortunately. If you wanna see me play the games that I will review plus some extra stuff, catch me on Twitch at Araknie Retro. It's my natural habitat, you see? Until next time, ciao ciao!